Joining me right now is the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, who was on the call yesterday, ironically, for Sylvia Fowles' final game, and I was on the call for Sue Bird's final regular season game. But, Rebecca, there's been lots of tears shed saying goodbye to two future Hall of Famers in Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles. As we look to put a bow on this week of celebration, what stands out to you most about their careers?
I think how each of them defined what it means to play their position. You know, for Sue Bird, for over 20 years in the WNBA, has taught us what it means to be a great point guard, to make your teammates feel comfortable when you're out on the court, to play in a way that everyone around you is better. And then at the same time, when your team needs it, you hit daggers to help your team win championships. And I think a similar thing can be said about Sylvia Fowles and the back-to-the-basket center position. She taught us what it means to be a dominant low post player, to get inside and score, to post up, to rebound, to block shots. So in very different ways defining what it means to do those things. You know, Sue Bird setting up her teammates and Sylvia Fowles dominating herself inside, and both doing it in different ways but helping their teams win championships. Sue Bird helping Seattle to 4 championships in 3 different decades. Sylvia Fowles helping her team win in 2015 and 2017 and being the MVP in those finals. So both players, in a way, defining what it means to be the best at their position.
And Rebecca, I believe you were out of the league by the time Syl came in, maybe not. But if you weren't there when Sylvia came in, okay, who was that power player that you played against, like that dominant, just strong center on the interior?
Well, you had some of those in my day. You had the hybrids like Lisa Leslie, who were stepping out and hitting threes, or Tina Thompson stepping out and hitting threes. But you also had in LA Zhang Haishou, who was a 6'8" back-to-the-basket power center for Los Angeles in the early days. You know, we had Kim Hampton in New York, who was one of those back-to-the-basket centers, but no one who was quite as dominant as Sylvia Fowles, and certainly no one who did it for 15 years like that.
Yeah, Sylvia Fowles, one of a kind. All right, well, Syl and the Lynx didn't make the playoffs, but the Storm did at the 4 seed, and they will take on the 5 seed Washington Mystics in Seattle in the best-of-3 series starting Thursday. We knew the 4-5 seed matchup would be the most intriguing for obvious reasons, but what's top of mind when those two teams are on the slate to play each other for you, Rebecca?
Well, first of all, for Seattle, they're the only top 4 seed who is playing an opponent with a winning record. Washington had the exact same record as Seattle this season. And these two teams met just about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And in a back-to-back series, Seattle won the first game, Washington won the second. Both games were decided by 5 or fewer points. So this is a really close matchup. This is going to be really exciting. And of course, you have Sue Bird, you have Breanna Stewart for Seattle, who have been playing well. Jewell Loyd coming off a monster game in their last game of the season against Vegas. And then for Washington, you know, Elena Delle Donne is going to be vitally important to their success if they want to beat Seattle. And Elena, shockingly, over the course of the last 5 games, has really struggled from the 3-point line. Still finding a way to score, making twos and getting to the free throw line, but it'll be important for her to create that spacing for her team to start getting hot from the 3-point line again.
Well, we're hearing a lot about the top teams, in particular those that are hosting. But when you look at the bottom half, are there any storylines with those teams 5 through 8 that you are looking forward to as the playoffs kick off?
Certainly. There are 2 teams that are really intriguing to me. One of them is Dallas and the other is New York. And the reason they're intriguing to me is usually at this time of the season, you know exactly what a team is and you know exactly what they do to have success. With those 2 teams, you don't know exactly, but they're still really exciting to watch. And I'll start with Dallas. They've been without Arike Ogunbowale down here for the stretch because of injury, but they've been a lot of fun to watch. Tierra McCowan for them has been playing great basketball. She has become a double-double machine as the 6'7" post player taking care of business inside. Marina Mabrey has been outstanding over this stretch, scoring and helping her team. And then for the New York Liberty, this is another team we don't know exactly what they are quite yet because Betnijah Laney has only played 9 games this season. She played 4 in May and has played 5 since her return in August, and she changes them. And Sabrina Ionescu for New York is so important to their success. mess. And it was a good sign for New York to be able to pull off the win yesterday against Atlanta, to make it into the playoffs when Sabrina was only 1 or 12 from the floor. Her teammates were able to make sure they could get that done. And Laney's a big part of that. Steph Dolson was a big part of that yesterday. But those two teams are intriguing to me. They're fun to watch, but you're not exactly sure who they are because of the pieces that are missing and the pieces that are returning.
So much to look forward to. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to you, Ryan, and Holly taking us all the way through the finals.
I look forward to dinner with you, LaChina, when we finally get together in the finals.
I know. Can't wait. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.